The Child's View of Working Parents, from Fortune, November 8, 1999, by Cora Daniels. The image of working parents as jugglers long ago entered the gallery of cultural cliches. We know that balancing work and family life produces stress and guilt, not to mention the uncomfortable conviction that one day your child will cry to a therapist about how the babysitter nursed her through the chickenpox. But what do children really feel about all this? That was the question that Ellen Galinsky, co-founder and president of the Families and Work Institute, set out to answer in her new book, Ask the Children, What America's Children Really Think About Working Parents. Galinsky surveyed 1,023 children in the 3rd through 12th grades, as well as 605 employed parents. She had helped designing the questions from her own daughter. Laura, who did one-on-one interviews with children of various backgrounds to find out what issues were important to them. Galinsky made some surprising discoveries. For one thing, children don't seem to mind that their parents work, but they do wish that when their parents were around, they were less tired and stressed. Galinsky found that the amount of time parents, both mothers and fathers, spend with their children does matter, but so does the kind of time. Children who reported that their parents can focus on them when they're together were more likely to feel that their parents were good jugglers. And as Galinsky told Fortune's Cora Daniels in a recent interview, when children have the chickenpox or any illness, they really do want their parents around. What did you find when you looked at spillover from family life to work life? We asked parents, how often have you been in a good mood at work because of your children? 71% said they'd been in a good mood either often or very often at work because of their children. If you look at the people who say that they've been in a good mood at home because of their work, it's 37%. In fact, kids really energize us for work. Do companies need to adopt new policies to help out? People who work more tend to feel more stressed, but the real thing that's powerful is job pressure. You have deadlines that are difficult to meet. You have such a large amount of work you can never get everything done. So the message to employers is to think about creating a work environment that maximizes people's productivity. We've tended to think of the main thing to do with children as helping to provide childcare. That's important, but I think that for real return on investment, you need to think about creating an environment that helps people work in a more constructive way. You also recommend that working parents be home when their child is sick. In the early days, when I was doing research on this subject, the conventional wisdom was that if you provide flexibility, employees will take a mile. We followed Johnson & Johnson through a process where it provided more flexibility, and it found that absenteeism went down. If you give people an inch, they give you an inch. If people have the flexibility to take care of family issues, they tend to be there for you when you need them as an employer. Give and take. What can you tell about the next generation of workers? A lot of business leaders I talk to think people aren't going to be willing to just get involved in the kind of frantic overwork that so many people do today. Children who have seen their parents struggle aren't going to be willing to do that. Not many people want to work harder than their parents. They might want to work as hard, but they don't want to work harder. People who are managing Generation X already feel there are some differences. Generation Xers want more autonomy. They're less willing to settle for less say in their jobs. What is the bottom line of what kids are trying to tell us? They're telling us that there is a problem, but it's not that we work, it's how we work. They worry about us. 2/3 of the kids worried about their parents at least some of the time, and mostly if we were tired and stressed. They often worried about our safety. Will we get to work safely? Will there be an accident? Will something go wrong? They are telling us to be there for them, and they're telling us, and I think this is perhaps one of the most poignant findings of the study, if we act as if we don't want to talk, we may not know just how to tell you that we want to talk, but we really do. Don't set up the moment for the perfect quality time. Hang out with us, and then we'll warm up to it, and hang in there.